Uh, DJ Ghetto Funk here. Um, I guess I could start by telling you guys a bit about myself real quick. I've been DJing for 20 plus years. Never been a laptop DJ. Started off with the iDJ2, which is the iPod, and then you could separate tracks. Um, then from that, I went to the SCS3 or the SCS2, which is basically this one here, just about maybe up to here. Same size, a lot lighter. This has a battery in it, which makes it a lot heavier. But and then from that, I went to the RX2, um, and I had the RX2 for, oh man, I want to say like almost 8 years around there when it first came out, and I saw this one come out, and it reminded me of the SCS for the size. Um, and I was like, I want to look into it. Saw what it had. Um, I am not by any means a scratching DJ, technical DJ, super just, I've seen DJs that are amazing, 4 channels, 6 CDJs, just craziness. One, I can't afford it, and two, my back can't handle it anymore. I'm getting there. So I was like, I'm down to go back downsize, and the case alone for the RX2 was pretty heavy. And then the RX2, so I started doing more gigs, which were smaller setups. So I was like, why not just get something smaller? I sold the RX2, got a pretty penny for it, and bought this guy. Before I bought it, I did my research, and it had a lot of bad reviews, and this was with people that bought it within the month that it came out. And the most of the bad reviews were due to small things, and I'm not nitpicky like that. Like I said, I started off, well, how I got my DJ name was DJ Ghetto Funk. I was ghetto as hell, and I would play nothing but funk. And by ghetto, I mean I was playing backyard shows between bands at punk shows, and only had my bass amp and 2 CD players, and I would, do the thing. So yeah, um, so I'm not nitpicky. I use what I got, and I got what I use. So when this came out, what sold me was the Bluetooth. Like, I was like, wait, I can hook anything up and it turns into a waveform, and that alone sold me on it. Um, I've never been a stems user, laptop user. Um, I've always had sound that was heavy as hell. So when I found out that it was Bluetooth out and Bluetooth in, and I could hook up, to a speaker without cables and a smaller speaker for the small gigs, I was like, boom. Um, I've collected all my music through the years, vinyl, records, CDs, tapes, and accumulated it all into my computer. So I've used Rekordbox for a while now, and everything's been organized and set up. So that was another reason. I just went straight to what Rekordbox already had and put it all in here. Um, I mean, I guess I mainly bought it for the size, so I could just stop carrying heavy equipment. Um, I love everything about it. Like I said, the bad reviews were like, one of the main things they said was, it's a toy. Uh, I want to have fun, so give me something to play with. I'm gonna play with it. It's a toy. It is what it is. Um, but I also understand professional DJs that need certain things in order for their set to work. I've managed with less, so when it comes to this, they actually made it less, and I, again, will work with what I got, and I'm mainly here to have fun. That's my main thing. So, yeah, and the only reason I did this review is because I finished my set. I do a different genre every Friday, and I've had it only for 2 months. Um, and everything was set up, so I was like, oh, might as well just do a quick review. Yeah, so I bought it knowing what was gonna come with it. Now I do believe that Alpha Theta is a baby in its infancy. So I know they're gonna bring a lot more to the table soon. They don't take too long in updating. They updated the sound bar here that people were complaining about, and you know, updates are constant. Um, I again, size, weight, the battery, the sound out is amazing. It's zero hiss, no more. The RX2 was just very hissy. The OS is so much faster. Um, of course, it's gonna, with time get slower, being that I'll continuously be putting music. But for like what it is, it's super fast. Um, it comes with a speaker, the Wave 8. It has zero delay. I hooked it up to my Everse 8, um, and it has like just a pinch of delay, which you can manage if you just do the headphones. But I don't just do headphones. I like listening to what's out here. Um, so yeah, that's another up. I think they're gonna come out with like a 12-inch, which would sound good, just with your one sub. I don't know if they're gonna come out with subs. Hopefully, most likely. Um, so again, what sold me was the Bluetooth. The Bluetooth in lets you play from any Bluetooth device, be it a phone, laptop, another mixer, just so many things you can hook up straight directly into it via Bluetooth, and then converts it to waveform, and you can cue it. The BPM, you could bring it up and down. You could just do so much with it, and that for me was pretty much. I do a lot of events for different age ranges, so they all want something different, and of course, I have thousands of songs, but sometimes you don't have that one song, especially the popular. I don't really do popular top 40 hits or anything like that. I'm just constantly playing what I've collected through the years. So when that came in, I was like sold. It works awesome. It's doesn't take long. It's not a buffering thing or anything like that. Um, People started complaining about the streaming situation where they have their Beatport or Tidal, which is the cloud. For those of you that don't know, I'm not a cloud user. I don't even have the cloud thing on my phone. Everything is stored on hard drives and or actual vinyl or tapes or CDs, like I said. So I don't use it. I don't trust it. I'm that dude that doesn't put money in the bank. I put it in wads of cash in my walls, kind of shit. But yeah, I don't have anything uploaded to any of that. All my music again is been collected through the years, so it's all with me. If it was to fry on my hard drive, I still have it on vinyl. If my vinyl melts, then I still have it on tape. If I don't have it on tape, I have it on CD. So yeah, that's my cloud. But for those of you that do that cloud stuff, now they updated the firmware and you can, hook it up to that. Um, so yeah, those are the things that I like about it. I also like this SD thing here. It's super flush, nice, clean. It still has USB in. The power in is USB-C. So you can, if you have your phone, sometimes you carry those bars with to recharge your phone if you're at the airport or whatnot. You could use that and recharge this thing. Again, the sound out, I cannot talk enough about the sound out. It is clean. I run this out into a small mixer, which I get even cleaner sound. I have to start the meters on it is not great. It works, but it's not great. By meters, I mean the center meters that tell you how loud you're going, and then the meter for the main is like up here on the screen somewhere. And I get why people were complaining about it. It is kind of like off because the color's like yellow, so it's not like a red where you can see it. And I think they're working on that. But yeah, the metering is not the best. If you're a super audiophile, which I am, I've learned to EQ my tracks. Today I did a roller boogie, which is a lot of 70s, late 70s recordings. So you still have a little bit of EQing where you could put more low end and mids when it comes to a lot of those tracks, because they, weren't focused on that when it came to a lot of those recordings. So I EQ it on the spot on my headphones. Having a good pair of headphones is a big plus if you want to get the sound you want, and then you hear it outside. So yeah, the sound out, no hiss. The RX2 had a lot of hiss, and anything before that. The microphone in works great. I'm still trying to figure out how to EQ my mic. I think the mic in for the XLR doesn't give you EQ, I guess, availability, but the mic in quarter inch does, I believe so. So it's just a few things. Like I said, minor things. It's not crazy. Why would I buy this? Again, I bought it for the reasons that I've used standalone systems my whole life. I've never used a laptop, and this was the size and weight that I've been looking for since the SCS. Everything after that just got bigger and heavier and bulkier and more buttons, less buttons. So yeah, I because of the less buttons and the less things it has, which one thing that I used to use a lot was the in and out loop buttons. But it doesn't have in and out loop buttons. So you can't start the loop where you want it and end it where you want it. It's just a one button loop, and it does it for you, which keeps it tighter and better and cleaner, which I came to realize with this. I also came to realize that I have to spend more time on Rekordbox and edit what I want in the long run before I even put it into the system. So the taking out of the in and out buttons for the loop made me sit down and do that manually on the computer, edit all of the sounds and get my cue points and just so much more, to where when I hook it up, it's just easier. Again, I started with the iDJ2, and I had the Chaos pad in order for me to have effects. It had nothing. It was literally just play, pause and play type thing. I came from that, and little by little they started adding more stuff to every system I would get. This one I feel has everything that I've started with and some extra, but not too much. So I guess in the long run, this system is mainly for people that don't want all of it. It's $1,500. I think personally, I'm not balling ass dude. I can't spend money like on the Opus Quad or the what just came out to the new I think it's like the RXZ or something like that. I can't. That's way up there. This is in my price range. I sold the RX2. I got a good amount of cash for that. Used that directly just to buy this, which is what I've always done with all my equipment. If I sell something, then I'll buy something. I'm not just out there. But that's me. So that worked out for me. The battery life is good. It lasts long enough. It gets you to where you need to go do the gig if needed. If you're doing over 4 hours, I don't think it'll get you that far. You have to test it out yourself. What the one thing that I guess I could say that puts it in my eyes as a useful, it's versatile still. It has so many things that I still haven't discovered. But again, it's the Bluetooth and being able to put it in a backpack and go. That was my main thing, because I just can't carry the heavy stuff anymore, and constantly packing and going and all that. So yeah, that's a plus. The negatives, I think the browse button, having to push shift and then browse, yeah, small thing, but it would be cool if it was just like a double click and you go back to your browse. I'm sure maybe if Alpha Theta watches this, double click, boom, you know. Um, what else? Stems. We gotta get standalone stems. I have an app on my phone called Moses. It has stem availability, which separates really clean, which a lot of people have been complaining about the stem separation on the record box. Um, it's not great, but yeah, if we can get Moses and Alpha Theta to get together and make babies, boom, it has the Wi-Fi. All you have to do is hook up, somehow get the Moses app into this, and does it on board, no problem. But hey, that's wishful thinking. What else? What else? Yeah, I talked about the in and out loop. Um, and yeah, the software, I think it still needs a little couple of tweaks. The actual, display. I think the volume meter needs to be bigger and red instead of yellow. Um, yeah, and then the browse button and no in and out, which is like I said, I'm okay with because I do it all on the computer. And that's pretty much it. I mean, in conclusion, I like it. I enjoy it. Um, my 8-year-old daughter started DJing. It's her size. I, for one, get used to the size. Like I said, I came from something similar. I can see why somebody that has, what is it, 6 CDJs and a ginormous mixer goes from that to this. They're gonna be like, "What is this?" But I've tried all of them, and for one, I like it for what it is. I like it for what it's going to be because they're definitely going to. A lot of people are gonna go and try and get some of this technology out into their systems, and I know there's a few that came before this, but I feel like this one's the only one that I tested all the other ones, and I feel like this is the only one that has what's similar to what was happening with the RXs. And if you're an RX user, you know that the CDJ is as closest to or the RXs are as closest to the CDJs. But you can always pull up to the gig with this, which I'm going to do tomorrow, and they're going to have their big old setup, and I can just wirelessly hook up from my seat. I don't have to get up, and I'm going, it's done deal. But yeah, audio out, size, battery, again, the Wave 8 speaker hookup, Bluetooth, the streaming that they just added, and of course, the portability. That's what sold me. I love it. Go listen to my mix or my mixes. My last 2 mixes I did with this, and be the judge. Like I said, I'm not crazy super like tech DJ. I just freestyle and go with the flow and vibe out, man. That's my job in the sense, and this thing is my go-to right now. Thank you for tuning in. Peace out.